We're back on Smells Like 90s Rock. It's Toddy and DJ P.O.R. and we've been enjoying the music. It's been a good musical night, I think.
Relaxing night.
It's a relaxing night. We need it after this week. We've not really talked about it, except I talked about it at the top of the show, the whole Gatlinburg situation.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week for everybody.
It's been pretty heartbreaking.
It's been awful. It just
something that's made national headlines.
Made national news. I just posted a link on our Facebook page from MTV. MTV is telling people how you can help out right now with all of our goings on. So, it's just,
And the one and only Dolly Parton is coming to the aid of her fellow Gatlinburg residents.
And it makes total sense that she would. It just, I don't know. There really are no words for what happened. We've been hearing about fires for, wildfires in the area for the last few weeks, You've been hearing them on different locations, but...
a lot in California, right?
Huh?
There've been a lot in California, right?
I mean, in our area.
Just in our area?
Like in Tennessee, yeah. I'm talking about there's been a lot in the Tennessee...
Finally got some rain this week.
Yeah, we did that's what helped extinguish some of the fires. It didn't do it completely, but it did help in the process. But yeah, it's just crazy because, like I said, we've been hearing about fires around the area, but you never really think about it. You never really take into consideration what that does, even when you hear about them like in California and Colorado and places like that.
Yeah, this is
until it hits a town that you know and people that you may not necessarily know, but you know where they live. Where they how they live and everything.
Yeah, it's a little. I hate to look for a silver lining in this just because it's kind of tragic, but it is kind of nice to see an outpouring of support.
That's what I said. Yeah. It's just the camaraderie in all this coming together. The next day, like I was scheduled to be off the day after the fire, but I was called in at 7 in the morning saying, if you want to help, we're doing donations. So I was like, all right, sure. So I rested up a little bit more, got up and got dressed, and by the time I got there, all of our vehicles, we have 4 regular-sized station vehicles, and then, of course, our big bread truck, the purple vehicle that we call the Prize Mobile. All of them completely full with donations. By the time I got there, that was how, because we were the donation drop-off point for a while. It was at our station already, completely full, all the vehicles completely full. And so we drove them down to the Expo Center on Clinton Highway, which is where all the drop-offs were going, and they were putting them in 18-wheelers and then taking them up to Sevier County. And we did one big load, and then we had to come back within like 10 minutes because they were already stacking up on the sidewalk back at the station. And I think we established that just with us alone, and this is not talking about donations that was actually dropped off at the Expo Center from other people, just from the donations that we got, we had at least 20,000 water bottles. At least 20,000 water. The water was the main thing that people brought. Over 20,000 or so water bottles dropped off to us, and food, clothing. It was ridiculous. But yeah, just the outpouring of support. You never really know that people are up for doing that until something like this happens, and it's incredible to see it all unfold. And of course, we all donated too.
The community galvanized under a good effort to actually help their fellow residents.
Absolutely, and it got so much that Pigeon Forge actually started turning away donations because they had too much, and then finally there were some new places popping up saying you can bring them to us, and then they continued on, and then they've already raised like over $1 million in money donations. So, it's just like
this is just from like locals too.
This is from local, yeah. And that was before Dolly stepped in, and so there's going to be even more money. And the supplies are going to keep rolling in, so it's going to be like nothing even happened.
She is donating $1,000 a month to anybody who lost a home, basically?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if she's helping out the businesses. I would assume businesses would have insurance anyway.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be too, and it's a business. I'm sure they have plenty of money, so I'm sure it's not going to cause any harm there. Because the businesses, most of the businesses that got burned were big business. They were like hotels and things like that. So and cabins. So I'm sure they're not hurting financially. So I'm sure they'll be able to handle that. But so many people, poor people lost their home, or not poor, but you know what I mean. Middle class to lower class people lost their homes, and so she's going to help out as much as she can to get them back on their feet. But there's still so many people missing right now, and It's just crazy. 13 people dead at this point as we are take the air tonight.
And the countless number of videos that they've posted, it's surreal.
Yeah, yeah. You have no idea what that must have been like unless you were in it yourself. And
Entire hillsides on fire.
yeah, yeah. And so many people I know knew people who lost their homes up there. The mayor of Gatlinburg lost his home up there, and he that I think that was probably the most like real moment when you would see him do press conferences for Channel 10 and or for the news media, for the outlets I'm trying to talk, and just as calm and as caring as can be, and he lost his home, lost everything, total loss, and he had to be the mayor, he had to act and try to keep everybody in line and everything. It's just the whole thing is surreal. You never really know how it's going to work, and God, just the idea of people having, people dying and all that too. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Very much so.